Pretty simple bait and fairly inexpensive.
This week on Kentucky Afield.
There he is.
Big cities can provide big-time fishing opportunity.
Ooh, a nice one too.
We're in downtown Frankfort catching one of the state's tastiest fish.
Almost 19.
Almost 19 inches.
Next,
Well, looky there.
In a good spot.
squirrels, sheds, and scouting. There's always something to do on Kentucky's wildlife management areas.
Right here.
Then we're talking to Kate Slankard, a biologist who's a real expert when it comes to owls.
It's amazing what you'll pull out of these pellets nearly whole.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl.
Yeah, boy.
That's a big rabbit. Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first muskie. Mercy Leo!
Yeah, look at here, it's a keeper.
Here it goes! Boom!
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. Here in Kentucky, many people experience cabin fever. The winters can be long, and anglers are anxious to hit the water. One of the first species that usually are ready to bite are the sauger and walleye. So I guess that's the Frankfort pound, huh?
That's it.
I'll let you lead the way. You know right where you're going.
All right.
So I guess the very first thing you do when you go sauger fishing is you kind of look at how much flow you got and how much weight you're going to need to keep it on the bottom, huh?
Right.
The last year, it's been hard to find a date to get on the river where it's not blown out.
Well, with so much rain that we've had,
Yeah.
it's really changes from one day to the next.
Most river fishermen know if it's going to be a good day as soon as they lay their eyes on the water. What are you guys thinking about today?
I like the color and the flow.
All right, good. I'm going to start throwing here a little curly tail little swim bait or maybe a paddle tail swim bait on a 1/4 ounce head and see if I can keep it pegged to the bottom. The most important thing when sauger fishing, keep your bait on the bottom. You may go through some lures, but if you ain't on the bottom, you're not going to be catching fish.
I'm from Bourbon County.
Okay,
Yeah, so I was raised in a little town, North Middletown.
yeah.
We all probably grew up on Stoner Creek. And then when we came to Frankfort, naturally we came to a bigger body of water. Whoever catches the first fish doesn't have to buy lunch.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we go starve. There he is.
Maybe they're moving in.
Ooh, a nice one too.
Very nice.
Wow, it's a nice one.
That is a nice, that's a sauger too, isn't it? Yeah, it sure is.
Boy, he's healthy.
That's a nice looking fish. There was a barge parked here when we first got here, and when that barge moved, the water conditions kind of changed, and it's finally settling back out.
He was close to the bank too. He probably wasn't about maybe 15 foot out.
But look how healthy he is.
Oh, I know.
Now, I'll tell you what, when it comes to table fare, is there a fish that you'd rather have than that right there?
No, it's hard to beat. It's
And-
pretty hard to beat.
So recently, we have changed the rules and regulations on sauger, walleye, and hybrids of those species, known as sawguys. And the reason it's changed is we're wanting to see more fish this size. And right now, it's combined. If you catch walleye, sauger, or sawguy, they all go together. 14-inch length limit, 6 per person.
Oh, okay.
Man, you get 6 that size and you've got something.
Wow.
I think we can do it.
Yeah.
This is Pretty simple bait and fairly inexpensive. You just got a 1/4 ounce ball head on there with a little paddle tail swim bait on there. And you want to keep it simple because you're going to lose some, aren't you? Let's see how long that fish is. I'm going to guess that fish is 18 inches. Maybe longer. Almost 19.
Almost 19 inches.
That's a really, really nice fish. Someone thinks they want to give this a try. Obviously, you need a rod that you can make long casts, a medium action rod, just about 10-pound test line. And another important thing is you're looking for areas in the bottom where you got some water current, but it's a spot they can kind of rest up a little bit.
Yeah, just like for instance, at the edge of that barrier,
Yeah.
it creates a little bit of a eddy.
Yeah.
And that's a great ambush point for these type of fish anyway.
It gives them a break and it takes the bait and pulls the bait right to
The
them.
bait comes right into them.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, Mark, you're no stranger to fishing right here around Frankfort in the river, are you?
No, I've been fishing this part of the river and all the river in Frankfort here for all my life, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's just something we always did as a kid. Just come down
like
here
you
to
say,
fish.
it's close, it's convenient. You never know what you're going to catch. You got him? Nice. There you go. Looks like a pretty good one. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Golly.
Sauger. Look at that.
Jeez.
And there's what you caught it on right there, little
Bass Pro.
Bass Pro with the lead head on it. Man, what a nice fish. Look how healthy and thick this is.
Fish has been eating good.
This is a trophy fish.
Oh, definitely.
It's a beautiful fish. I mean, this is a 20-inch plus fish, and you've already got a near 19-inch fish in there.
Right.
This is 2 fish makes a mess. Man, they're strong, aren't they?
Yeah, really.
So we're right at 20 inches on this one. Well, it's about an inch longer than your last one. Come down here and catch 1 or 2 of those, and you've got yourself a mess fish. It makes it worthwhile. We talked about fishing out here off the bank. You know, a lot of people would think, well, there's no chance you're going to catch such a trophy fish off the bank. I'm sitting right here in downtown Frankfort. It's not like we've traveled to the deep extreme somewhere where there's no pressure.
About 2 miles from my house.
2 miles from your house, come down here and you catch a beautiful, beautiful fish like this.
Look at that. Wow.
And Bill, you said it perfectly. If you're a person that you got an hour or 2 after work and you don't want to mess with dealing with your boat,
Yeah.
you can still run down here and run on the edge of the bank and make a couple casts. You never know what you may catch.
This is what's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think our day's going to get cut short. I believe it's going to start raining, but you know, considering you just came down here to spend some time, catch some trophy fish like this, it don't get any better, does it?
No.
Not at all.
Out of all the fish species we have, game fish species we have in the state, these, in my opinion, are some of the most beautiful. They got that real distinctive, real flat nose, and they get in these areas and they can cut the water. But I really appreciate you guys having us out. Who would have thought, right here in downtown Frankfort, you can walk down and catch a couple of trophy fish.
The good kept secret, but I believe it's going to get out now.
You know what? You got 2 really nice ones today, and you know what? I'll be back.
Certainly.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll have to get out and do something else sometime.
Anytime.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Bill, for asking me to come with you.
Yep.
Here in Kentucky, we have many wildlife management areas, and they're open and accessible for way more than just deer hunting. Well, John, it's mid-February and it has finally quit raining. And I'm here today at Big Rivers WMA. There's a lot of opportunities other than just deer and turkey season to be outdoors here, isn't there?
Absolutely. This is kind of traditionally a deer and turkey area. It's kind of our focus here, but you know, this time of year it's great for guys to get out and shed hunt, plan some trips maybe coming up this spring or in the fall, and also other outdoor enthusiasts can get out and enjoy the area.
You know, we're really pretty lucky here in Kentucky. We got nearly 2 million acres. for outdoor recreation. It's for public access, either WMAs or public hunting areas. This is my favorite time of year to get out in the woods, to walk around, look for deer sheds. Squirrel season's in, we can shoot a squirrel too if we want. But this is the time of year to plan a fall deer hunt or a spring turkey hunt. You can see which trees are nut-bearing trees. You can see game trails. We don't have to worry about snakes, ticks, none of that. This really is a time of year to potentially make yourself successful in the fall for a deer hunt. This time of year, get out and spend some time on the WMAs.
Anytime without ticks is good.
Well, I've done shed shows numerous times, and normally I bring a dog, but today I brought something better than a dog. You know this property very well. You know every spot. You've seen them on a tractor and walking around,
Yeah.
so hopefully we can go pick up a couple sheds, and I'd love to shoot a squirrel or two if we get an opportunity. More than anything, I just want to be outside.
Absolutely.
Well, let's go give it a shot. What do you think?
Let's do it.
You know, this area right here, this is a field that's got crops in it. We've got remnants of corn. There's some pretty good trails coming right out of this thicket right here.
You can pick them out and plan ahead from there, trying to figure out the pattern of these deer.
You find you a patch of persimmon trees and you know the time of year that those usually come out, might be a good idea to mark that on a map, check it with your GPS and say, hey, I'm gonna be back here in the fall.
Right.
You know, deer antlers are so cool. Whenever they release the chemicals that tells their body to drop them, it happens really fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, they can get into some pretty serious fights with other bucks with those antlers like that, and then they can just fall off this time of year.
It is amazing. You know, John, this is the very first time I've been on this piece of property, and I will tell you, to be in far western Kentucky, the terrain's a lot different than I was expecting.
It's a lot different from what a lot of people think of western Kentucky, of being flat and a lot of crop ground. This property is over 60% forested, and as you can tell, we got plenty of terrain out here and lots of hills that people don't expect.
It's very, very rolling. You know, we're right close to the Ohio River. It reminds me a lot of the terrain all up through the state, right on the Ohio River, which is different than it is just 3 or 4 miles in.
Right,
It's
right.
very hilly. I mean, it's not steep hills, it's very navigable hills, but areas where it'd be hard to get a tractor in there and plant.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you got this bottom that goes all the way to the river, and it's all heavily wooded. You got all these ag crops up here. This is kind of a pinch point.
Yep.
That tree would probably be a pretty decent spot for a lock on, and you got a water hole.
Yep, I'll give you some ideas for the fall.
If this is going to be a piece of property that I was going to hunt, you look around here and you see these persimmon trees, and look at there. Somebody's even got a tree stand.
Sure enough.
Just haven't come and got it out yet, huh?
No, they're actually supposed to have them out by now, and that one requires an extension ladder to take down. Okay, he knows what he's doing.
Well, looky
He's
there.
in a good spot.
Right there on the field edge. Here sits our first shed of the day. Not a monster,
No?
but you know what? This deer made it this year, so it'll probably be a little bit bigger. This might be, you know, who knows? This might be a quality 8 or 10 pointer come up this next season.
For the area and kind of just looking at this antler and knowing where genetics are, we're probably dealing with a 2.5-year-old buck. I know it's really hard to tell age by the antler, but this guy's got some potential ahead of him for sure.
That's awesome. Right here in this spot, we started going, you know what? This looks like a good spot for a deer stand. Walk up and find an antler. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with something like this too. I mean, everybody needs a good set of rattle antlers, and you know, there's different ways you can put these on your coffee table, display something, but oh no, they're just kind of cool to find. It's like an adult Easter egg hunt.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be adults, bring your kids.
Yep.
It's something they may really, really enjoy as well. All right, well,
Maybe we'll find a match up here.
could be. Let's cut through and walk this thicket edge here.
These little thickets are usually hot spots around this crop field, just with the transitioning of the deer coming to the fields.
Look right there.
Sure enough.
I don't think that's the matching side either. Looky there. Let's see there. You know, you go in an area that has similar genetics. These are very, very similar. I don't think it's the same, but pretty close, isn't it?
It is. Could be brothers.
Hey,
There you go.
got us a rattle set. Gotta be careful not to get your fingers, but very nice. Like I said, we didn't find a match pair, I don't think, but you know what? We just got started.
That's right. Look here, Chad, there's a pretty nice scrape.
Look at that.
Got a nice trail coming out of this bottom, and probably a communal scrape. Fairly fresh ones too.
Yep.
You know, that's typically what you see in these scrapes.
You even got some deer tracks in there. Look at here. There's another scrape over there. So you've got a situation where the buck has been using this and been marking their area, and there's a good chance there could be another scrape right here in this area come next year.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh, hold on. I think I just saw a squirrel. Oh, right here, right here, right here. Walking through the woods, picking up antler sheds, taking home something for the table. You know what? You can't beat that. To be out here this time of year in February and get to come out here and do this, a lot of fun. Hold up, here's one more. There's a squirrel going up that tree right there. You see it? All right, we gotta try to get up there to this big tree here and try to get a shot. Two sheds, two squirrels. You know, I tell you, I have spent the last 3 weeks in the house watching it rain, can't hardly fish. The conditions have been so bad. I'm glad I'm taking advantage of today. Well, I'll tell you what, for someone who's trying to manage over 7,500 acres, I know your time is valuable. I appreciate you taking us for a walk today and showcasing all the opportunities that are out here on this Big Rivers WMA.
I'm always glad to show people what we're doing here and showing off this great area.
I'm here with Lieutenant McQuarrie. How you doing today?
Great, Chad. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, turkey season is right around the corner. And as a conservation officer, you want to be out in the field, making sure that everyone is being compliant, safe, and having a good time.
You're exactly right, Chad. Our main objective is to protect the wildlife and make sure the hunters are being safe and enjoying the outdoors.
So a couple things that a turkey hunter needs to think about. One is feeding.
No doubt. It's that time of year. March 1st is a time that's set to where we can't feed wildlife outside the immediate area of our home. However, that does not prohibit a hunter from utilizing a food plot or any other normal agricultural practice to increase the odds of a successful hunt.
The next thing we got to be really cautious of is making sure that when you take that animal, you have all the tools needed to appropriately fill out your license.
What we run into throughout the year is hunters will add to their turkey vest their decoys, their calls, all the tools needed to have a successful hunt, but they'll forget their ink pen. So always include an ink pen or two into your vest so when you do have that successful harvest, you're able to fill out your harvest log before you move that bird.
And then the third thing is obviously target acquisition. We want everyone to be safe and want to make sure that we get one turkey, right?
You're exactly right. Make sure that you're actually shooting a live, real turkey, that it's not one of the newer decoys that we see now that look extremely realistic. And also make sure the birds, as they come in, a lot of times we'll have groups, whether it be a group of jakes or young 2-year-olds come in together. Make sure you wait for that opportunity and you only get one bird, because we're allowed one bird a day.
Turkey season is right around the corner. We appreciate you coming in and talking to us about this. I know that a perfect turkey season for you would be everyone having fun, being successful, no violations, and no injuries.
You're exactly right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kentucky has many interesting owl and raptor species, and Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife biologists try to monitor those populations. Here's a way you can help. Today we have Kate Slankard, avian biologist for the Department of Fish and Wildlife. And Kate, we're here to talk about a very interesting bird, the barn owl.
That's right.
Not
Yep.
the barred owl, the barn owl.
That's right.
They look a lot different. And we got a project we're trying to increase the numbers, correctly?
That's right. This year we're doing a statewide inventory for the barn owl, and every 3 years we do inventory statewide, trying to find as many barn owls as we can. And this is the year of the barn owl again.
You really need the public's help to locate these birds, correct?
That's exactly right. Most of these birds are on private land, and so, in order to do surveys for them, we need private landowners to tell us when they see them.
It's called a barn owl, so I'm guessing that a barn is probably a good place to start to look for these, but they'll also nest in other locations. It doesn't have to be a barn.
That's absolutely right. It's a good name. They do use barns quite often, but they'll use just about any man-made structure and some natural structures. We find them a lot in silos. We'll find them in elevated hunting blinds, even in old chimneys that aren't capped. But they also use hollow trees and sometimes caves and rock shelters.
If you wanted someone to kind of keep an eye out or to be listening for a barn owl, what would be some good characteristics that they would either look for or listen for?
Well, the thing about barn owls is they do not hoot. Most owls make a hoot kind of noise. Barn owls actually don't make any noises that I would describe as pleasant. They mostly screech, and it sounds kind of like stepping on a cat's tail, or some people say a lady screaming.
Oh my gosh, that scream, if I was in the woods and heard that scream, I think my blood would run cold.
It's very eerie. I hear it
like-
often, and it scares me every time.
It sounds like something that you would hear on a horror movie. It really does. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like a banshee scream.
It
It's
is.
the only way I can describe it. Okay, what do we got here today?
Well, another way that we can look for barn owls is by looking for the sign that they leave. And, you know, owls regurgitate pellets. It's the undigested parts of what they eat.
So this has been regurgitated coming out of the mouth. Okay.
It has, and barn owls have a very distinctive pellet. I'm going to put some gloves on here. And they leave piles of these behind in the barns and silos and other places that they use. And oftentimes, to look and see if a barn owl's been using a barn, we simply walk the floor of the barn and look for a pile of pellets.
Okay.
So we can find this on barn floors. Sometimes we'll see a white splatter around it where the bird has been roosting.
Now, just looking at this, you know, visually, it looks like it's got quite a bit of fur. So I'm guessing they eat mammals.
They do, yeah. They mostly are interested in eating rodents, mice, and voles, and so they're very beneficial to have around on farms for keeping rodents at bay. And we can actually see exactly what the birds have been eating by looking inside these pellets and pulling them apart.
Oh, wow. I think that's teeth.
Yeah, yeah. And it's amazing what you'll pull out of these pellets nearly whole. Here's a vole skull.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
I think there actually might be another one in this same pellet. So these birds are just amazing at controlling rodent populations. They will get rid of several mice in an evening for you.
So if someone is walking through their barn or around an abandoned house where they think there could be one there and they see this, what do they need to do next?
If they don't mind to take a picture and put something in it for size reference, like a quarter, and send it in to us, usually we can identify it just from the picture.
And then if they have a good location for a potential nest, then we would provide them with what's behind us, which we'll pick up here in a second, which is called what?
A nest box.
A nest box. And this is specific for a barn owl, correct?
That's right.
Okay. So, and do they keep a pretty clean nest?
No, they are not known for being clean birds. These boxes, we can tell if they've been used because they will get full of those black pellets in the bottom. So they leave a lot of sign behind them, makes them, you know, it easy for us to find them.
So if someone finds these pellets or hears sounds that sound like an owl, a barn owl, then what they'd want to do then is to call the Department of Fish and Wildlife at 1-800-858-1549 and ask for the non-game bird program, correct?
That's right.
And then you guys would come out or take a look at the pictures and potentially put one of these boxes in.
That's right. We will put boxes up wherever there's evidence of barn owls. We can't put them up just for folks that are interested in barn owls, but if there's owls there and they need a safer site, we do come out and put up a box.
Well, thank you. Like I said, we really need everyone's help, eyes and ears, to help locate these. So thanks again for coming out and talking to us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Fifth grader Nate Matthews from Hart County caught this nice catfish on Lake Barkley fishing with his mom. He knew he wanted grilled spicy for dinner. Nice job. Check out this nice red ear caught by Carter Green while fishing on Lake Barkley. This fish was 12.5 inches long. Nice job. 7-year-old Brooks Bonfield went on his very first turkey hunt with his pops, and they got this nice turkey right here. Congratulations. Here's a nice red ear caught by Kimmy Caulfield at Lake Barkley over Labor Day weekend. Nice job. Camden Hargis caught this impressive walleye while fishing at Lake Cumberland. This fish was 27 inches long. Nice job. Check out this nice flathead catfish caught by Danny Ginter in the Licking River. Nice job. This is one of my favorite ways to catch bass, fishing at night. This fish was caught on Peabody WMA by John McEwen. Congratulations. Here we have a very impressive whitetail deer taken by Rob Donahoe of Warren County. Nice job. Here we have 9-year-old Luke Stumler, who got his very first squirrel ever, taken with a 410 shotgun. Hey, turkey season is right around the corner and the fish are really starting to bite. It's an exciting time to be a sportsman here in the state of Kentucky. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.